there is a specific amount of time and training that you need that will get you on par. Now, I'm not saying that he'd win the world title. I'm not saying that he'd be in the finals or the nationals or on the podium.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've seen a lot of these fighters like Tyron Woodley, they just haven't been able to be as competitive as I thought they would be for former world champions. Don't get me wrong. I had an expectation that they might lose. I just never really thought that they would be losing against guys who are not even world class, not high caliber.
Yeah.
And you saw that when Jake Paul was falling down against Joshua, all that running around, falling down, running around. Like when he finally fought somebody that was like legit world class.
Yes.
He looked like trash.
Literally.
And so I would have thought that the performance level of mixed martial arts would have been different. And like I said, it's still hard to say, which Dana has the opportunity to fix that now by using the fighters. Because the reason it was hard to say is because when you look at Jake Paul, what did he do? He kept bringing in fighters who were out of the weight class, over the heel. Yeah, So that was the thing, and that was the trickery. That's the illusion. I would love to see him have fought younger fighters leaving the UFC.
Man.
And like you take guys like Brian Battle out of the UFC and still in that age, and he did okay in the dirty boxing stuff. I would love to see Brian Battle fight somebody else who just I forget one of the most recent guys. I think one of the guys that Brian Battle actually fought got released from the UFC as well. One of the wrestlers. I would love to see them in Zuffa boxing.
Yes.
I would just from the curiosity point of view. I would love to see that.
Yes, that's a draw. You sold it to me right there for the curiosity factor of it. What's going to happen? I'm tuning in.
Because again, this idea of trying to, and I think that's the strategy. They want to snatch up all these so-called legit boxers from all these other promoters. That's what they're trying to do. So then your real battle is not putting on a good show. Your real battle is trying to impress people that hate your guts. That's what it feels like, I'm serious. It's like you're trying to be on the De La Hoya level or the Bob Arum level or the Don King level. And like, nobody really cares.
Yeah, you got to watch out, coveting what other people have, and that's the only motivation as far as starting a brand new, because it really rides on their success in the future with this thing. I'm sure since it's being born now, since it's debuting now, there's a chance it doesn't become a thing long term.
Let me ask you a question. Outside of MMA stuff, MMA podcasts or content, what other content do you absorb on a daily basis?
Now it's stacked with MMA mostly, but the things that will.
Let's start there with the who's. Who's your go-to MMA people? Like if you have one platform that you listen to.
I'd have listened to so much of Joe Rogan's podcast, so much in my life.
Now, are you listening to current podcasts or former?
Both.
Because a lot of his older stuff was MMA heavy.
Yes.
And a lot of his newer stuff is scientific heavy.
Yes, and I love both of those things though. I mean, this guy, Joe Rogan, I gotta give him credit to how it's influenced me as a person. Overall in my life, I gotta give him credit.
How has Joe Rogan influenced your life? I would love to hear that.
He's got real abstract ideas. I saw this old video of him in a limousine one time, and he's in the backseat talking about all these profound thoughts about life and how we're like ants, and how we populate the globe and what we do to it and all this stuff. He's talked about psychedelics so many times. He's talked about aliens. I got more of a curiosity, but not at all a gathering of like conspiracies in that aspect. I'm super into spiritual stuff though, and like esoteric stuff. So it's like he kind of launched me in that direction. I'm not as conspiratorial or like into the
Well, you know, when it comes to content, period, you know, whether it be podcasts, whether it be fights, I try to have a thought process of my own before I just let it consume me, you know, and I don't want to consume a lot of what they have to offer without having some type of filter, you know, like when we get to talking about stuff like aliens, let's take that for an example.
Yeah.
My filter says, okay, when's the last time we've talked to one? Now I know we've had these conversations about spaceships. I know we've talked about Area 51. I know we've talked about, you know, what the government is hiding. I know all of those, but that still has not answered the question is, when have we talked to an alien? You see what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to get down to as close as truth as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's like what I was saying earlier, if we can't measure it, we can't test it, we can't test it, we can't measure it.